What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates every day on Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. We also take a look at the Dow Jones at the end of the video. Also, we're going to be taking a look at that XRP chart. We're going to watch how it plays out, see what happens. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it is what it is, and we'll see what happens. I'll look at the bullish and the bearish case scenario in everything, and yeah, let's get into it. Don't forget, we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. All right, guys, as always, it's not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. Disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Make sure you read it. And always remember, this is just my opinion and my view of the market. It does not have to be yours. I want to remind you guys, I am doing a Kobo Vault Generation 2 hard wallet giveaway. It is right here. All you have to do to enter to win is make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Smash that like button. Even if you don't want to win it, smash that like button. It helps the channel out. Also, leave a comment down below that gets you entered to win. On Sunday, I'll be picking a random comment from a random video throughout the week, and that will determine the winner of the Kobo Vault wallet. All right. News headlines. We take a look at this just to get a feel for the sentiment in the news. And right off the bat, Bitcoin price, bulls pin hopes on descending channel. So they're looking for a bullish case scenario, as they do. Market wrap, Bitcoin traders expect big move as volatility returns. Bitcoin facing greater price volatility than Ether in Q3. Bitcoin is not dead. Get yours at your local post office. So apparently in Australia, the post office sells Bitcoin. Comprehensive analysis predicts Bitcoin price near 20,000. First mover, the return of the Bitcoin retail investor, and kind of bullish news. They put a lot of bullish stuff in there. The more bullish the news is, I tend to get more bearish with the bullish news. So looking at the fear and greed index, we are up 3 points from yesterday, currently at 44, still in the fear zone. And let's take a look at the monthly. So the monthly, last month we confirmed higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the RSI. That is bearish divergence in the monthly. So obviously that will take time. It closed below this 93.40 for the monthly will be neutral. A close below the 85.57 would be extremely bullish. Currently our 8 EMA is at 85.57, right there at that line. 13 EMA is at 82.32, 21 EMA 77. All those are extremely important areas, and they match up really well. That's why I like the exponential moving averages, and the ones I use are linked to Fibonacci levels. The 55 EMA currently sits at 5,200. I do have this target at 54, had it forever. We could see that next month if I'm correct. Possibility, not saying it's going to happen, guys, but it does line up with this long-term trend line here and the 55 EMA. If that wasn't to hold, obviously we could go down to these lower lows, and we'll talk about that in a second. Taking a look at, first let's take a look at the volume on the weekly. It's dying, definitely going down to nearly nothing. And same thing, we had the higher highs in the price action here, lower highs in the RSI. That was bearish divergence in the weekly. We currently are getting support. Our major support right now is at 9,050, which is at the 8 EMA on the weekly. On the weekly 13 EMA, we have 88.30, 21 EMA around 85.70. 55 EMA around 8,200, 200 EMA all the way down to the 5,800 is a good chance we come down back to this area. I also have some lower targets, but we'll talk about that as the time comes. And if you guys are interested in starting to learn how to trade or starting to trade, I will leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top. Definitely check it out. Just remember, don't use super high leverage, especially if you're just beginning. And Don't put in more than you're willing to lose, and don't get crazy. But if you do use my link and my promo code Savy50, you get 50% on top of your deposit as a bonus. And if you use Savy25, you get 25% off your fees. The reason I like Prime XBT is you can trade gold, oil, Forex, S&P, Dow, all kinds of stuff on it, all with your Bitcoin. It gives you access to, tons of different markets. So check it out if you haven't already, and let's take a look at where we're at. We'll take a look at this RSI in a minute. That is key. And so as of right now, on the EMAs here, we are getting rejected at the 8 EMA at the 9200. We are below the 55 EMA currently at 9170. It's looking pretty bearish in the EMAs unless we get a push up. And I have been talking about a possible bull trap with a nice move up to FOMO people in before the drop. But I still am extremely bearish here. Let's take a look at the bullish case. I forgot to mention that real quick. The bullish case scenario is this falling broadening wedge that we were watching. And we are currently above it, although I don't think it's valid. But if it is valid and we do not break back below it, the target of that breakout is 16,000. That is the bullish case scenario. Now let's go back into the daily here. Like I said, the daily is looking bearish. If we do continue our drop, our 8 EMA is going to cross our 55 here, which will push it down even further. Now let's look at some measured moves here. And looking at the volume, the daily volume is diminishing also, looking like it is ready for a break. Will it be the bull trap up, or will we break this trend line here and come down? Well, let's take a look at the targets. As we've been talking about, as you can see, what happens when Bitcoin rises too fast, we got this huge dump here. Same thing in this channel here. We have a measured move out of the white channel, and that measured move bringing us down to that $6,900 range. I also drew a orange trend line here off of these wicks right here. The measured move off of that brings us down to about the 5,500, and then I drew another one where we're getting support here. If that is to break, the measured move of that one, depending on where we break, is going to be around the $4,300 range. I also have a lower target around 3,500, and that is because there is a CME gap down there. Again, that doesn't have to fill. It's just something to be cautious and be aware of. Let's look at the RSI real quick and see what that's telling us. I do want to point out, if we do come back up and test this orange trend line, if we came straight up today to test it, that's going to be around this $9,650 to $9,700 range. We also have some targets. We'll look at the short term, but let's look at this RSI. If you guys have been watching the channel, on the daily RSI I have this neckline drawn here. I was looking at this as a head and shoulders. We did break below it. Looks like we came up to test the top. Now a daily close above this will change my view a little bit. I don't think we'll get that. We could get that spike up, like I've been talking about, a bull trap, and close back below this, and that would just remain bearish, obviously. But if the daily RSI closes above this neckline, that will change everything, and then we could start looking a little more bullish. But as of right now, I'm still 100% bearish. Let's look at another daily chart. This one I took the EMAs off of. Still have the same measured moves. We're just going to look at the Fibonacci retracements here from the swing low to the swing high. And we did get our bounce off our 0.236 at 88.90. If we break below that and that becomes our resistance, our next line of support is around the 8,500. And then we have the 0.382 fib at 79.40. 7,700 has been long-term for a long time support and resistance. And 71.41 is the 0.5. Golden pocket zone is between 61.50 and 63.60. I would expect at least a bounce there. If that does not hold, be looking at my $5,400 target. After that is 52.50, which is a 0.786 fib, and then that gap down here. If we did get this, it could very well be a stop hunt for anyone that went long here and would have their would have their exits or their stops right below it, right around 3,500. So be aware of that. That is definitely a possibility. If we get that run up, the one thing that would be extremely bullish is if we cross that 10,560, came up, retested this bottom trend line around 12,100. And this is the bullish case scenario, guys. I'm not bullish yet. But if we did and we came back down and made this support, I would say full out bull run heading our way. But until then, I remain bearish. All right, let's look at the 4 hour. So in the 4 hour, let's go back here and look at this RSI real quick. So in this RSI, we're looking at the falling channel here. We've had touch at the top, touch at the bottom. This one didn't quite make the top. Another touch at the bottom and top here. We've broken out of rising, broadening wedge. Come down, we are in a falling channel as of now. If you watch this on the daily and we break this top, that would be the bullish case scenario. Let's look at the 4 hour. Same thing with the 4 hour. We are in a rising channel here. A break of this rising channel, if we were to break down, first off, we have our rising channel in yellow here. And obviously that's that measured move to 69. And we have another measured move looking at this white rising channel here. If we were to break down today or tomorrow, actually, 88.77 would be the bottom of this channel. If that was to break, the measured move off that also goes to that 6,900. So a lot of things lining up around that 6,900 range. Not to say it has to happen. Obviously, we have plenty of support up here, but it is looking to me like at least the 6,900. Let's go into the RSI here real quick. Well, first off, let's zoom in a little bit on the EMAs on the 4 hour. We did not look at that. And as of right now, we are getting support on the 8, 13, and 21. They're all crunched up here right around the 91.30 range. A 4 hour close below the 91.30 range would most likely tell me that we're headed down to test the bottom of this rising wedge right here, or rising channel right here. Let's look at the RSI. RSI, we have a falling channel here within a rising channel. Does look like we could, if we are in this falling wedge, looks like we're going to come down and retest this range, which could be down to these lower lows. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, if we do have our fake out bull trap, we'll be heading up to retest the top of this, which would be, we'll talk about in the 1 hour right now. Get this off of there. So let's zoom into the 1 hour here. And what we're looking at is I have put a Fibonacci retracement from the swing high to the swing low. 91.89 was our 0.386 fib. I'm sorry, 0.382. And we did get above it, but we did not open and close the 1 hour above it. So as of right now, that 91.89 remains heavy resistance. If we look here, this could be considered a falling wedge. I don't really believe it is. If that was the case, the measured move of the break of that. Where is my measured move? I don't know how I keep losing this stuff, but I will redo it. Okay, so a measured move of the break of that, if we did break up, that would be around that $9,865 range. I don't really consider this falling wedge very important as of right now. But if we do break the 91.89 range and open and close a 1 hour above it, our 200 EMA is around 92.15. And if that would remain support for us, if we did break above it, 9,300 would be our next resistance at the 0.5 fib, and then the 0.618 at 94.20. After that would be the 95.85. And that would be retesting this area here from where we had our drop. So it is a possibility. If that happens, I think it'll be an extreme bull trap. It's up to you guys to make up your own minds. I show you what I'm seeing in the charts. I don't try to give you any false hope, any crazy stuff. We just look at the charts for what they are here. As of right now, Like I said, the 200 EMA is around 92.15. 55 EMA down here around 91.28. We also have this falling channel here and the measured move of the break of that. And again, I'm not certain on this one, but that gets us right up to that same thing. That's the 0.786 fib. That would be 0.786 retracement of this whole move to 95.85. Again, I believe that would be a major bull trap if that was to happen. But yeah, as of right now, it looks like more to me like we're going to continue down from here. We could come up and retest this 9,300 area. And again, if that breaks, then we could be looking at the 0.618. But as of right now, guys, this is all looking pretty damn bearish to me. And the 1 hour RSI, is that telling us anything? Not really so much. We have a channel here. We could come up. I guess it's possible to retest the top of this, which would be coming up to these higher highs right here. But again, anything up here would be a bull trap, in my opinion. This is my wife's webpage, inkyourimage.com. It is another way to support the channel. She has lots of cool stuff on here, crypto stuff. You can put anything you want. It doesn't have to be just what you see. Any saying, any crypto, if you got a favorite coin, whatever. Family pictures, anything. They make great gifts. I appreciate it. And like I said, it helps support the channel. And let's look at Litecoin. Same thing. If we were to get that pump from Litecoin, if Bitcoin went up and did that bull trap, Litecoin could possibly get as high as the 47.76 range, which would be retesting the bottom of this rising channel that we fell out of, which the measured move of the rising channel that we fell out of is around 37.20. We did hit our target of 39.12, which was the 0.236 from this swing high to swing low here. The 0.786 is all the way up to 71.89. I don't believe we would get that high. Let's zoom in here a little bit to this area. From this swing low to this swing high, the Fibonacci retracements, these are the ones I'm looking at. We've had this 41.13 support and resistance line. We did break below it. We are getting support on it now. Another break and a close of a 4 hour below that 41.13. Most likely be headed back down and test the 39. That breaks 37.92, which is the 0.5 retracement. And then we have the golden pocket zone between 34 and 35 here. I would expect at least a bounce. But if that does not hold, then we're looking at the 30.52. And if Bitcoin does really go down to them lower lows, 22.77 area is what I'm looking at. On the RSI, we have a big falling channel, which you can see there were other channels within. And we seem to be in another one now. Let me draw that in there. Right about there. We'll see what happens as this one plays out. But it does seem like we are forming another falling channel. A break of the top would be the more bullish case scenario. But I do believe we'll be coming back down to test this bottom, making those lower lows. If Bitcoin makes that 3,600 low, we could be looking at a $20 to $22 Litecoin, somewhere in that range. And don't forget, guys, make sure you smash the likes and leave your comment. It really helps the YouTube algorithm because they are not doing a good job getting videos out. And share it if you would. That really helps big time. All right, so let's move this down a little bit now. So looking at the 4 hour here on Ethereum, if we look at the swing low to the swing high, Fibonacci retracements, we got a perfect bounce off our 0.236 fib, and looks like we came back up to retest the top of this wedge. We were looking at this as a wedge. We did get a rejection. A measured move, looking at that as a rising wedge, gets us down to about the 152 area, and that's using this support line right here that we broke, came back and tested. But if we clone this top line and put it here, we could be looking at a rising channel also. And the measured move of the breakdown from that rising channel, depending on where we break, gets us right down to that 0.618 fib, which is the golden pocket zone between the 147 and 153 range. But first off, before we would get down there, we'd have to break this $214 range. Our next stop will be the 191, which is the 0.382. Next stop 171, which is 0.5. Obviously golden pocket zone. 0.786 is 125. And if Bitcoin decides to make the lower lows, we could be heading down to this area for Ethereum. Let's look at the RSI, see if that's telling us anything. Not so much. We broke out of this falling channel. Pretty much, I'm going to invalidate that for now. Let's take a look at this. Could be a huge broadening wedge, but that does... You know what? Let's do this. We do have what seems to be a falling wedge here in the RSI. Obviously, we can't come all the way down too far in the RSI below the zero, but it does look like we had a touch at the bottom, touch at the top, touch at the bottom, touch at the top. Didn't quite touch the bottom, so we could be getting that move down here. Although, does look like a inverse head and shoulders here on the RSI. Could get a push up. Again, we could be looking at that bull trap for Bitcoin, possibly. But this is all looking pretty bearish, guys. It looks like the 55 EMA is looking across the 200 here. If we can break down past the 8, 13, and 21 EMA, we would be headed back down to retest this 214 zone. That is what's most likely, in my opinion. If that breaks, could get ugly. Could get real ugly real fast. If we do have that bull trap, we could go as high as the $245 level. XRP. I get a lot of hate for this chart, but this is what I'm seeing, guys. And I have measured moves here. We did come down. We breached my 17. And mind you, I made this when we were up at around 20 cents. I started posting it in the Discord. And again, if you haven't joined the Discord, check it out. I try to get in there as much as I can. As you guys know, I work full-time too. I run a company, so I don't have a whole lot of time, but when I do, I get in there. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at CryptoSavy1. And anyways, let's look at this. Our first measured move hit off of this wedge. The second measured move is looking at this as more of a bear flag, and that would get us down to the 16 cents, a little over 16 cents is our next target. We did get rejected at our trend line up here. We came back up to retest it, got rejected. Most likely going to be heading down to this 16 cent zone. And the next measured move, is measured off of this neckline here from where we broke, 11 cents. And if that does not hold, which I don't think it will, we'll be looking for a 2 to 3 cent XRP. That would line up perfectly with this trend line. Call it what you will, like it or dislike it. It is what it is. That's what I'm seeing. You don't have to see it. And let's look at the pre-markets. Pre-markets, Dow Jones is down 69 points as of right now. And yesterday, as you can see yesterday on the daily, it came up, retested the 200 EMA. It looks like it's getting rejected there. We'll see what happens today. We might get a little push up to around the 25.6 to 25.7 to retest these. But I do think it's most likely going to come right back down and continue down from here. And that's not to say, obviously, guys, it drops straight down. But we've talked about it before. We have some major hidden bearish divergence, lower highs in the RSI, or lower highs in the price action, and higher highs in the RSI. That is hidden bearish divergence. Looks like it's playing out pretty well. Looks like we are going to see some more downside, in my opinion. It's not to say it can't pump back up and retest this trend line around 27, 27.5. Either way, I'm not playing in this market. I think it's going to be the biggest money grab in history, and this thing is going to dump super hard. Everybody got too bullish. Everybody thinks they're just going to keep printing money and putting it in it. I don't believe it. I do have, here's my first target where I believe we will be coming down to at some point, the 16.5. And if that does not hold, 93.61. If that doesn't hold, ugly. But let's look at the daily here. And it does look like we are forming a head and shoulders. So most likely come back down, get a test here. It could end up, and guys, obviously this, we don't know this is going to happen, but this is what I'm looking at. There's a left shoulder, head. If we come back down, test this line, come back up, get another fake out, and Boom. That is what I'm seeing. No guarantees that's going to happen, but we will continue to watch it on this channel. So make sure, if you haven't subscribed yet, click the CryptoSavy logo above my head. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash that like button. Leave your comment down below. Share the video if you would. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. Thanks a lot, and I'm out.